Good evening. Welcome to Ox Market Trading. No, Mighty Ox Trading. Keep forgetting I changed the title. Hope everyone had a good Wednesday. I haven't looked at the markets yet this evening. I just seem to have missed the markets going down here on the Nasdaq, but down's the direction of the day as we had major selling over the last couple days since Jerome Powell talked yesterday about inflation not being transitory, and we have virus fears. All this is scaring the market. Let me get all these support resistance lines off of here. We'll make some new ones. We'll look at the day. So you can see here, we look at the week and get rid of these two for now because we're nowhere there. This is the week. Week started here Sunday evening, and it started off positively. Started here, came up here. Everything looked good there. Everything looked good too, right around here. This is when Jerome Powell started speaking, right here. And whoosh, we whooshed down about 400 points. Tried to come back up throughout the European session last night. And then whoosh this morning, late morning. I'm not sure if there was another catalyst here that caused it to whoosh. But we are actually broke back below 16,000 and we're down to 15,915 now. So we're now over 800 points off the high. You can see we reached a high last week, the Monday before Thanksgiving. Reached as high as 16,767, and now we're down to 15,916 on the Nasdaq. So over 800 points, 850 points, something like that, down. So is this just a correction, or are we going to go down for a while? That's a very good question. For now, though, you can see yesterday. Right now, our price isn't as low as yesterday, but 280 points down yesterday. But really more because it went up before coming down. Hit a high of 427 before whooshing down to 869. So lost like 427, 527, about 550 points from its highs. That's huge. It's over $10,000 per contract. So, and the ES did the same thing you see here. It dropped from, let's see here. Looks like about 46.51 all the way down to 44.96. So it dropped about 150 points, over 150 points. It's $7,500 a contract. So the market is definitely spooked right now. We're definitely seeing a huge pullback. December is normally a net positive month. But if you want to look at to show that the market is spooked, look at Tesla. This was Tesla today. Now I know this looks weird. This is Renko charts and might not be familiar with those versus regular candlesticks, but you can see that it went down. It hit up here, in pre-market it was going up, hit about 1167, and it fell down to 1085. It's sitting right around 1100 now. I watch Tesla because it can tell me what's going on in the indices. Copper has been trending up since the open tonight, but I believe, let's look at the bigger chart here. It also came down over throughout the day. I didn't mess with the charts today. As you can see, nothing was updated. Did get a $120 win today on crude oil this morning. This was the only trade I took. Hey Walt, how you doing? Last couple days have been great if you love the short. Copper had about a 300 tick range today. Also heading down. Gold today. Were you, did you trade today, Walt? Do well? Gold had this amazing candle here right before midnight Central Time last night. That was most of its range. Came up, topped out, fell, tried to come back up and fell again. UltraBond. UltraBond was going up today, it looks like. About a 4-point range. Almost sneezed all up in your ears. Oops. Crude oil. Crude's also been dealing with the whole Omicron. Not sure if that's how you pronounce it. Variant fears. Keeps dropping. Had about a 4.5 point range today. You can see here on the daily chart that we have not been this low on crude since August. And that was on a dip, basically. So, and then before that, we have to go all the way back to May. Actually, right? Ouch! Sorry to hear that, Walt. Yeah. I did that. I did a similar thing on copper. I want to say it's about a month ago now. It went up huge one day, and almost any day that it does that, the next day's a fullback. So I was playing a short bias, and I tried to you know every little movement short, I took a short and ended up keep going up, and it started going up to it actually hit all-time highs like that week, and I ended up losing like 4 or 5 straight trades on it before I just kind of gave up. And I mean, if I had been playing it playing longs, I would have did really well. But went in with a short bias and I messed myself up. So I taught myself trying to just play what I'm seeing and not go in with a bias, but it can be difficult. Natural gas is coming down harsh too. Maybe some relief for heating bills this winter. I don't think so, as I've actually seen where multiple utilities have announced rate hikes. ES. It's the ES telling me ES is trying to bounce back up from this move down, as is the NQ. Oh, I need to zoom back in on NQ. There we go. Exactly. That's exactly right. It's going to do what it wants to do, not what we think it should do based on prior prior experience or patterns or whatnot. So natural gas, so now crude's sending me a signal. Crude actually looks kind of sideways, so let's see here. Daily chart on natural gas. About that same time as crude, we August 30th was the last time we were this low, and before that was way, 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 way. I mean, it wasn't this high for a long time before that. So it's just to see how far it comes down. We were in an excellent play yesterday. A lot of money made. I'm not making a lot, but I do have 3 straight green days in a row. Russell. What's Rusty saying? Oh wait, let's look over here, Russell. So you see the S&P, the Russell, and the Nasdaq all came down here pretty good. Nasdaq fell from 953 all the way down to about 906. Now it's rebounding to the SMA line. Can it come back up, or is it going to bounce? Yep, that's exactly right. I only took one trade today. It was on Crude. The trade lasted 52 seconds, I believe, and I made 120 bucks. So didn't see anything else I liked. Then I needed to do some house stuff. Then I needed to do some actual work. So I never really looked back, and happy with it. 3 straight green days. Monday was 220. Tuesday was 178. Today was 120. So it's like 520 this week. Right. No one wins every trade. No one wins every day. Russell again. Thank you very much, Walt. And I know you'll recover. Today was just a bump in the road. Ooh, big move down here on Crude. Oh, top of the hour. Top of the hour, 8 o'clock Eastern can get a little weird. One of the Asian markets opens. Welcome, Walt. We're all in this together. We all need to prop each other up and help each other out. Pretty wild doji candle here on Crude. Went up 14 ticks, went down 13 ticks, finished 2 ticks from where it started on that minute candle. Trying to go back down now. Just looking for a couple good trades. That's what I've been trying to do. Just stay calm and find a good trade or two. I was very surprised how quickly that crude oil trade happened this morning. But it made me happy. What's agriculture doing? Agriculture just opened for now for this trading session. Uh, Hard to say. Looks like it was for today. It was just kind of choppy. Choppy. Oh, NASDAQ coming back down. Came up, hit the top band, bounced off. Copper made a big move up. Unfortunately, it sent that signal right as I was coming on. I was actually came on a minute or two late. I lost track of time, so I missed that signal. So I'll wait for the next one. UB sending me a signal here. Not a lot of volume here on UB right now, though. I don't think. 85.66. Not bad. NQ giving us a short signal. We're going down into bands that are sideways. I admit, oftentimes when you see this come up like this, let me blow that chart up. When you see a move like this, and it comes down and comes back up, and then it bounces and comes back down, oftentimes this move has no follow through. And you'll see it start either consolidating for a while or bounce back up, and the SMA line will start straightening out, going horizontal, and you'll start with a move up. It's kind of like, I mean, it's kind of like this move here looks like a bigger move, bigger version of this here, where this came down, came back up, pulled back a little, then went up. Kind of like here, down, up, pulled back a little bit, did it twice, and then went sideways for the rest of the day. And that's exactly what it looks like it wants to try and do now. Still have downtrending Bollinger Bands. So it kind of move it wants to make. Even during heavy downtrends like we've seen the last couple of days, you do get periods of uptrending. Like here, this would have been a great signal, it looks like, from 904 all the way up to 57. So if that's a 50-point move upwards, and off this signal here from 43 would have pulled back to 35, so an 8-point pullback. 43, excuse me, up to 61. That's 18 points. Quick math. Though when you're going against the overall big trend, you probably want to look for shorter profit targets. I mean, obviously these profit targets would have worked for 15 points, which is what I'm normally looking for this time of day. But, maybe 10's better. So you see what happens, these bands where it was downtrending, obviously, steeply down, but we have consolidated here. Now the SMA line is flat, and you actually see that the bands are trending a little bit upwards. This could be a good entry right here, as a matter of fact. We had the buy signal here, came up, pulled back below the SMA line, now we're above it. Let's take a micro on that, if I can find my micro chart. I need one more screen so I can have all my Ninja Trader charts. There we go, magic of the internet. It appears. We have 17 seconds left on this candle. Just one micro. See how we do with it. So I don't often get in on a candle that does not have a signal with it. It pulls back first. We'll see what happens. See if this is a quick pull back. We'll go in there. We're up 5 ticks. I'm sorry, 5 points. Yeah, there it's moving. The stop loss has moved a little bit above break even now, which for the micros probably I can move it back down to break even. I'm not gonna worry about 12 bucks. Ooh, and it might come back down to break even. Yep, stop this out at break even. I think. Maybe a dollar or two, one way or the other. Let's look if I can find it. Didn't even pay for the commission. 50 cents. That was a 50-cent winner right there. We're up 50 cents. That's a green day. I think I'll call it a day there. No, I'm kidding. Honestly, I don't even know why I run the trailing stop like that on the micros. I should just let it either go to profit or stop me out. That was just a waste, honestly. The other frustrating thing is if I had gone in with a regular size contract, I would have been up $200 at one point and could have cut that. Hi, Rallo. Ninja Trader does it for me. What platform are you using? Ninja Trader tells me what basically rolls the contracts for me. Um, when I was a Top Step, I had to keep checking to see what you know. Uh, you also could be told, sometimes they'll announce when contracts roll. Are you sim trading at all, Rallo? Are you using a platform? The the best way to look is you're right. It is usually volume. You can tell which one's the front month. Um, it can get confusing because each thing's on different months. I believe the indices We'll be rolling the March next week. Because they're on still December contracts. Last week, I think Crude rolled. But for me, I just let NinjaTrader tell me which contract. And on TradingView, I just use the continuous contract in front for the charting. Gold's been sideways. Weird candle there. Rala, did I answer your question okay? Or do you have any follow up to that? Things are kind of calm right now, much calmer than they have been. Uh, with the sound issues on your end or my end? Am I coming across clearly or do I need to fix something? Okay, just making sure. Um, for me, NinjaTrader rolls the the contracts for me, so I don't even need to think about it. When I bring up NinjaTrader, a box will come up and it'll say this needs to be rolled. And for TradingView, I just run what's called uh, continuous contract in front. But if you're on a platform that doesn't automatically do rolling for you, looking at volume is the best way. Um, they will sometimes make announcements as well when something needs to roll. Uh, that's probably something I should probably work on getting maybe on the subreddit or maybe announce it once a week on here for rolling contracts. It can be a little hard to keep up with because everything seems to roll at different times. Some things roll every month, some things roll once a quarter. Cool. Excellent. Yeah, NinjaTrader makes it really, really easy. When I was with Top Step on Tradeovate, there I had to constantly look up. I had to go to the CME website and look to see what was getting the highest volume. And sometimes it was like tied, and I was like, oh crap, which one is it? It was, they didn't make it easy. I really like NinjaTrader makes it easy. Getting a short signal here on copper, but coming into upward trending bands. I would expect this to maybe hit these bands, bounce a little, pull back, and then maybe go. It'll probably prove me wrong because I'm saying that, live, but see copper there in the upper right hand corner, trying to push down. It's down 11 ticks on this candle. Should have been a good. I mean, it's literally going to entry, but I never enter going into the upward band, so I'm still expecting it to bounce back. Yeah, this isn't acting normal. Copper, kind of weird right here. I really expect this to bounce, but right now it's not bouncing. Oh, yeah, definitely not bouncing. And indices all of a sudden are yelling. They're also yelling short. Something to spook the market again. Russell down. ES down. Crude down. Natural gas down. Copper red on this candle. I'm sorry, not copper. Gold. And Q down. Bonds saying, yo, what's up? Nothing's going on here. We're bouncing now. But yeah, this bent the bands down. So this would have been a good short. Didn't take it, but looks like it would have went to our profit target. See, ES is kind of at a resistance area here, or support area. You see how this, let me blow this up. Boop, boop, boop. Came down here 3 times. Boop, boop, boop. Right around 45.17. So it was about 2 points from resistance. This seems like it wants to bounce up anyway now. But we'll have to see whether or not, it comes back down. That's definitely an area we want to look at. This wick up here was interesting. That was right at the top of the hour, but it came back up here 8 minutes later and tried again there before pulling back. So right now we're in this 10-point range, which is a big range for ES, especially this time of night, 10 points. Be interesting to see if we start bouncing between these lines. Looks like NQ is in that similar, almost exact situation there. See, it came up to those same area. Not quite the same down here though. There's the low from this move, but there's another low right below it here. Copper did do that bounce. Did the bounce I was expecting, but it didn't do it as fast as I expected. Let's see. How far did it go? Looks like it went 14 ticks. So, no, 15 ticks. So, it would have got enough to make me go to break even, but it would not have reached my profit target. Now, what I actually expected to do, though, is I expected to come back up here some and then pull back down. Like bounce off the SMA or get slightly above it. So we'll see what happens. It's actually still right at where where it told me to enter before. Let's put a ray right here. If it comes back down through that area, we'll take a trade. Actually, we can get rid of that for now. Gold's looking kind of weird here. This big move up here is only, pull back. You see these big wicks here? Not sure what it's doing. Don't think it knows what it's doing. So it looks like we're ranging right now in the S. You can see here. It stayed in this range now. Go all the way back to here. Good evening. Apologize if I pronounced this wrong. Twan Thomas. Yeah. I usually, ES isn't one of my favorites to trade, especially in the evening. NQ also is kind of consolidating right now. Looks like things are trying to breathe right now. That's good. I hate pronouncing names. Now, I mean that was easier than some of these, usernames I've seen, and I end up messing them all up. So I always apologize just in case I mess it up. And Cube trying to show upwards move here, but I want to see it break out of this range before we take it seriously. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's what I'm trying to do. I really do, you know, helping people is something I've always strived to do, and it's hard to do when you don't have money to help yourself, more or less help others, but hopefully I'm gonna make some difference somewhere. We just broke out of this range, or I shouldn't say broke out of the range. We have gotten above this resistance point, not far back, and it pulled right back into it. See if it gets above that EMA line. ES trying to make that same move up there, but also pull back right around that resistance, same resistance line. And Russell kind of did the same. Russell's been hanging out with the other indices more often than lately than it normally does. Usually it's the rebel of the group. Crude might have finally found a bottom. It's been coming down most of the evening. Pull it back to the SMA. We'll see if it breaks it. So, and the indices did basically bounce off that resistance, got a little above it. Just kind of maybe expanded the range just a little bit, but now it's pulling back again, staying sideways. Gold pulling back as well. Copper's kind of sideways. Bond's kind of sideways. Let's see how many times I say sideways. Up, crude bounced off the SMA, heading back down. Just kind of sitting and waiting right now. Not even much to really get excited about. Remember, I'm up 50 cents on the day, which means if I quit right now, I would have 4 straight green days. If you think I'm going to quit at 50 cents, not going to happen. So it crude here, came down, came back up, bounced, and I was trying to bounce back down. Slow grind downward, maybe. Remember, we drew out this line here from this prior area. Want to watch if it see if it gets below there, but it seems like it's more going sideways right now. UltraBond came down, broke the SMA line. I'm sorry. It would have given us 5 ticks off this short signal here. I didn't take it. Excuse me 1 second. Okay, I am back. Looking for some action. Sideways, sideways, sideways. Usually see another little burst of volume at the top of the hour at 9 Eastern. But this could be a boring night. And if it is, well, then there's always tomorrow. I'm live streaming again tomorrow morning at 7:30 Eastern because sleep is overrated. And then again Friday morning. And I think we're going to keep that schedule from now on. Probably not the week of Christmas. I don't think I'll do a live stream on Christmas Eve. I think the market's open Christmas Eve in the morning, but I don't remember. So either way, I don't think I'll live stream on Christmas Eve anyway. But other than that, I think at least the rest of this month, we'll continue out this Monday and Wednesday evenings, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Really going to try to get funded this month. Hit 2022 rolling. Get an account built up. Then do a second account. All that fun stuff. I have big goals for 2022. And I hope you all do too. I hope everybody plans to make 2022 their year that they reach their trading goals and surpass them. Russell, we're staring at it. Russell's also in this range. I just haven't drawn it out. Sending me a short signal, like it wants to go down. We'll want to see it go below this line here, I think. Well, that's actually 4 points away from where it's at now. So, I mean, for now it looks sideways, just like everything else does. I swear I need to bring in other entertainment. I need a co-host. Someone to banter with. UltraBond, giving us some sort of signal. A buy signal. But downtrending SMA line. We'll wait to see if it breaks it. This is the type of eating that trading live on the stream is tough because I feel like this is boring for you guys to be watching, even though this is the truth of trading is that sometimes trading is boring. It's waiting for the right trade. It's waiting for the right entry, I should say. So and you can't rush it just because you're feeling bored or FOMO. But you want to be entertaining. Now I could switch over to Sim and take some of these signals, but I'm not sure that's good either because it's just showing maybe bad trading even if you're doing it on Sim. So I don't know. Oh, big move up here. Big 9 point candle here in the Nasdaq. Gotten back above the line here, right up to the point where it exhausted before at 947. Now it's trying to break. See, it gets above the EMA line. Next big resistance point after this is HISA at 960. So that could be 15 points if it can sustain a run here. Problem is, if it does go on a run, it's probably just going to run without me. Do have a chart up here just in case. Nope, there's the pullback. Basically got to almost the exact same areas it did back here and then pulled back. Let's try it again. Gold's giving us a buy signal as well. It's at 82.6. Hit a high of 83 earlier. Want to see it get above that high. Nothing's showing follow through right now. We're getting a bunch of signals, but everything's kind of stalling out. ES did not break out of its range at all. Neither did the Russell. We do have a buy signal here on Crude, and this one looks good. I like the look of this best of all the signals we've got in the last couple minutes. Let me see if I find a Crude chart. There's my Crude chart. Again, it sent another signal. We're watching both here. Got 45 seconds on this crude. Looks like crude found the bottom. It consolidated here, came up slowly, broke the EMA line. Now it's trying to get momentum to go up. See, NQ here is just kind of fluctuating down here around 942. Blocking the signals. Copper as well right now. I got filled on crude, maybe a little late though. I hesitated there. This candle opened at 94. I got it at 97. So I was late there, but it's still showing some momentum. Let's switch over to copper and see what it's doing. It's also showing momentum. That's already up 11 ticks on that signal, but we're watching this crude trade. It's up 6 ticks. This MNQ trade chart back down, and we'll watch our crude. I don't like the fact that crude is showing inside or right up against the third Bollinger Band. That usually indicates a pullback. But we'll see. Yeah. Oh wait, that's copper. Whoops, wrong chart. Crude. Crude's pulled back totally, back down to break even. Let's see if this is just a breath. Nice little burst up, back up 5 ticks. There we go. 7 ticks. Do have an EMA line there. EMA's lines on the 1-minute chart aren't as big as a higher time frame. As I say that, it's struggling right at that EMA line. Oh, there we go. Nice burst up. My stop's trailing. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful move up. Okay. It came back down to my trailing stop. That was an excellent trade. Excellent trade. Let's go look at the stats. Got 17 ticks out of it. Entered at 65.97, out at 66.14. The trade took 2 minutes and 37 seconds. 2 minutes, 37 seconds. And we got 17 ticks, so $170. And with that 50 cents we got earlier, we're now up 170.50 on the evening. 2 for 2 on trades. And we got out right at the right time. You see this big 15-point pullback, 15-tick pullback. So using the trailing stop there worked well. And now copper. Copper did also make a very nice move up here, but only, it went up 13 ticks. Let's see, from 27.15 up to, let's see, 70. 75's been, wait, no, 90. Still going. So it looks like this might have also gone to profit target. Thank you, Walt. I appreciate that. Didn't even realize you were still here. It got really quiet. So 15 to 90, it's 75, 80, 75. Yeah. So far, this copper, if I could have done that as well, I would be up. Would have gone up 15 ticks. Now normally I'm looking for 20. Hasn't gotten there yet. So while the indices were playing, and this is why, it's one of the reasons that even though it's best to stick to one or two assets to watch and follow and play, I just have trouble when. That's why I follow like eight, because as the indices, the NQ and the ES and Russell are all sideways here. You saw both crude and copper give me entries. So I was able to jump on, and honestly, the bonds gave me a good short entry here that I didn't take. Gold's doing the same sideways thing, but that's that's why I like to branch out. But newer traders, and I am a newer trader. I've been doing this for a few months to a year if you count my stocks. Stuff in stocks. Should stick to one or two, but I end up getting more distracted and look for other stuff to be doing. And then I miss entries anyway. So I'm interested to see what this does here. This is our move that we caught. It's pulled back here, but it looks like it wants to curl back up. It'd be interesting to see if it curls back up and keeps going. I don't usually talk about other funding programs too much besides Earn and Trade, because Earn and Trade is my favorite, and it's the one I really, I feel an allegiance to, or loyal to. But if anyone's looking to do an evaluation for really, really cheap, today only Lilu is offering the 25K evaluation for $3, and you get to get up to three of them. So if someone wanted to just like YOLO a couple of evaluation accounts, that might be something to look into. It's today only, and you do need a code. So if anyone's interested, let me know, and I'll send you the code. So oil's, did that move up? We caught, pulled back, now sideways. Went the sideways route like everybody else is doing right now. Copper also sideways. So now just about everything sideways. And oh wow, all uh, movement is going out of the bonds to we're just getting dashes here. If you're here from YouTube, just a reminder, if you feel like it, to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and also hit the like button. I guess that helps with something with the YouTube algorithm. See, copper would have eventually here gotten to our profit target if we had gone in. We were busy with crude here, but sometime I'll probably be good enough that I can grab two things at once. That would have given us a $250 win there. Natty gas. Buy signal, but there's no volume. Not even worried about it. Crude is trying to tick back up. Right now, right there, it's at the high that we hit earlier with that move. Russell. Okay, so we're seeing some movement up here on the Russell, on the ES. I bet you on the NASDAQ too. Yep, NASDAQ again, trying to push out of their ranges. Next resistance is about 960 for NASDAQ. Taking a look at the next resistance for ES. Let's look here. Uh, about 32 it looks like. It's at 26, so it has 6 points to roam. But again, it's kind of doesn't have a lot of momentum here. Basically got to the same area here. It's trying again. You want to see a candle actually finish above that resistance before you consider entering. And it's flirting with it. Do you know what happens with some flirts? They sometimes get smacked. Oh, big move there. Oh, wow. Just got in on ES. Hopefully I didn't jump out of FOMO. Yep. Up. Yep, I jumped in out of FOMO there and got stopped out right away. $50 loss. That was a very stupid move on my part. So now we're up to $120 on the day. This is going to still go up. I had it too tight of a stop. That's my problem there. Yep, see, it's still going there now. Yeah, I didn't even, that happened so quick I didn't even get a chance to switch over on Streamlabs to show that move. I got in there, and there it goes. I just had too tight of a stop. I got in at 45.30, stopped out at 45.29. So it eventually went up to 33. So I would have got the 2 points I was looking for, but I was running too tight of a stop. I should have been running a 2x2 instead of a 2x1. No biggie. Gold. Gold dropping here as Nasdaq and the indices are breaking out of their range. Nasdaq blew through that first resistance point I pointed out. It's at its high of the day now, of since open, not like from yesterday. You can see pulling, but the next major resistance point isn't until 60.40. It looks like right around here. It's actually about 60, 16.048. So it has room to go if it's going. It looks like it might be going. Um, Tuan, I've tried doing those stops in the past, and it was what else more inexperienced. So yeah, maybe I could do it better now. My trader psychology, though, I end up sticking into a move too long, saying, well, it's going down now, it's going to reverse, it's going to reverse, it's going to reverse, and I end up getting myself in a lot of trouble before I finally decide to hit the button to kill the trade. So yeah, I mean, I understand the stop idea if you have the mental fortitude to know finally when to pull it and not hope that it's going to come back for you. Yeah, that's it's I got to get better at adjusting for the market more, like more or less, because right now this isn't normal movement for this time of night. You're seeing these huge moves. Like, I mean, we just saw the Nasdaq go up over 30 points in the last 5 minutes, and you know, a month ago that it was very rare to see a 30-point move this time of night. So I got to get better for widening my stops and my profit targets when we're seeing more volatility, bigger moves, and that's just something I've not gotten that great at yet. Big pullback here now. Copper also pulling back. Yeah, it does, and I think it also comes just with more experience. You start feeling out the market, and you start you know understanding more of the adjustments you need to make. The more screen time you have, you know, I wish I could dedicate more time to just staring at the charts instead of having to worry about you know, the work I do during the day to make the money that I can, do this and so on. So, if I ever get funded where I can get rid of the other stuff, it'll probably like snowball because I'll be able to spend more time just getting the feel of everything. Yeah. You know, I thought about grabbing that $3 Lilu today. I was considering it, but here's the issue. First of all, they have that whole constantly trailing drawdown, which you know you can constantly have good trades, and if you're not cutting them right away, and you're allowing pullbacks before you get out of the trade, you can have a 100% win rate and still end up blowing the account. So the $3 sounds good, but let's just say you YOLO and pass. It'd be very easy to pass a $1,500 profit target if you get the right trade. We just saw. like I said, we just saw Nasdaq go up 30, 35 points. Two contracts on them, or I think it allows two, or I don't remember, it's two or three, and you're almost at the profit target. But then, okay, you get funded, you have to pay the $88 data fee, and then you're starting over with that whole drawdown. And now, if you blow it, then you just lost that $88. So it is $3, but I don't know. I really like the way Earn the Trade does with the end of day drawdown. And then when you get funded, you can choose the live sim, which continues the end of day drawdown. Um, you can do the live sim with the end of day drawdown until you get to $5,000. Once you're at $5,000, they take 1,000 for their cut, and you can move the 4,000 over to the live account, and don't ever have to worry about the trailing drawdown because well, at least on 50 and 75 and I think 100K accounts, you're already above the trailing drawdown where it stops trailing. So, and that's exactly what I plan on doing. Once I get funded, do the live sim till 5,000, move the 4,000 over to the live account once I hit that amount, and I'll never have to worry about the drawdown unless I start losing majorly. Yeah. Oh yeah, the $3 is definitely a steal. It's just like, do you want to deal with that drawdown? After paying the $88, that's the whole reason. I was about to do it today. I was about to grab three, and I quickly read up on exactly what happens after you get funded, and that made me pause. So now we have the big pullback here. Nasdaq is pulling back, almost give out back that whole move so far. ES and Russell all doing the same. Yeah, well, I agree, but Canadian futures trader has said one of his videos, I want to say last week or the week before, that Apex is getting close to announcing a funding partner. I don't know who or what. I don't have any. He didn't go into any more details. But so it sounds like Apex is in process of adding an actual funding partner to go live, to actual lives. Yeah, but I agree. I think Lulu. I don't like the way Lulu does business. All these, you can have up to 20 accounts, and these cheap $30 accounts or ad trials or whatnot. I bet you more people fail them than the regular average evaluations from other companies. I think they're all just money grabs for Lulu. So Earn the Trade is the company I really like and respect, and I like Top Step too. I have nothing against Top Step at all. I still get their emails because I started with Top Step and moved there to trade, and I really like. I can't remember the performance coach's name. Hogue, Hogue. It, I like him, and I like listening to what he has to say. Yeah, I agree. It should be unsustainable. Um, I just wonder, it's amazing. It probably is an amazing number of how many people or how much money they make on the evaluations and the resets. Do have a short signal here on Crude. Earn a trade. Uh, they are. Well, here I can bring up the information. Uh, Give me 1 second. I always have it available. Uh, Tuan, so are you familiar with any of the funding companies like Top Step, Earn the Trade, and all that? I just need to know how much I need to explain. Earn a trade. You can. They accept traders from everywhere besides like 20 countries. There's like the only countries are the countries like Cuba, North Korea, South Sudan. But other than that, yeah, they accept anyone from just about every country around the world. Okay, give me 1 second. Boop, 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 boop. Give me 1 second. Okay, this is their various uh, mini gauntlet accounts is what they call them. They have an end of day drawdown instead of intraday, which means that it doesn't constantly trail like most of the other companies. They just figure the end of day at the end of the day. Yeah. So their 50K account is profit goal of 3,000. Their trailing drawdown is 2,000. Daily loss is 1,100. 6 contracts, so on and so forth. Free Ninja Trader license. Um, that's the one that's on sale for this month for $99. But these are the five that they have. These are the regular prices, if you can see them. I'm doing the 75K, so my profit goal is 4,300. Trailing drawdown is 2,750. Daily loss is 1,750. And I'll be able to trade up to 9 contracts. They do have a progression ladder. So right now I can only trade 3 until I reach I think $1,500 in profit. Then I can trade 5. And eventually it works its way up to 9. Um, then their only other rules are trading during their approved times like anybody else. And they do have a consistency rule. You can't make more than 30% of your profit in any one day, or else your profit target will go up. It's not a rule that'll fail you, but it is a rule that'll make it a little harder if you go above it. They've been around, I believe, since I want to say 2017 or 2018, I think it was. They're a really, really good group of people to work with. They have a Discord. And they allow like traders from anywhere, even if you're not trading with Earn to Trade, come there and chat and talk about trading or whatnot. Really good people, great support. It's a really solid company all around, in my opinion. Let me know if you have any questions about them, and I can answer most things. So, um, NQ, NQ pulled back, came back up. I, you can request a payout. I mean, if you mean how often can you request a payout? Once funded, I believe it's once a week. And they actually have three different funding partners: Helios, Apius. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Apius. And they recently announced a partnership with Edge Clear. Gold gave us a signal here. Kind of half wasn't paying attention. Uh, you can see though that gold has tried coming up three or four times here and has failed each time. So we'll wait to see. I mean, that's about 8 ticks above where we're at right now. Yeah, Twan, if you're ever interested at all, there's always a link down in my stream notes. Check them out. You can see that this month they have the 50K account on sale for 99 bucks, and that'll be for the entire life of the subscription to either pass or cancel. Have you done evaluations with other companies, Twan? Twan, I don't know. I have very little. I don't know much about the other companies. I know a lot about Earn to Trade, not much about the other companies. Um, you would have to ask their support that. So I wish I had an answer for you, but I'm just not sure. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, because that's profit for them. Because with Apex and Legal, you never go into an actual live account. It's always a sim account, even though they're giving you a profit split on that. And data for from Rhythmic for paper trading or sim is only like $30 a month, so they're profiting 55, like 50, 55 a month for that data. No problem. Anywhere I can help, I will. That's the goal. Yep. So we had that little fun burst up there, the indices, and then it's gone boring again. Yeah, I agree. Well, and there seems to be, I mean, all these companies have started popping up, and I've heard that there's like three or four more that are in the works of trying to get launched. And it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. These other companies like Lilu just feel so gimmicky, with these low $3 valuations and so on. And Earn a Trade and Top Step really don't do the gimmicks, and it causes them to not get as noticed. But in my opinion, they're the ones that are going to be around for the long term. Now, if Apex does add a funding partner, then maybe they are too. But in my opinion, Apex gave me a red flag when they extended their 50% off until January. It just feels, I don't know, having a basically a constant sale means you're devaluing your overall product to begin with. It just feels like it's a grab to get money. Hello, John. I'm going to call you John. Yeah, I don't like the Apex's withdrawal rules at all either. And I heard Lilu does a lot of weird withdrawal stuff too. Now, I do know, but I did hear Canadian futures trader on his latest video from today said he is hearing that people are getting paid, and he's expecting his payment the next day or two. So I mean, they do pay out, but the weird rules around withdrawals for both Apex and Lilu. Just again, another good reason for him to trade, in my opinion. You can ask for a payout every week, and I just it's very hard to find a drawback with Earn to Trade with their track record, their you know end of day drawdown, and their evals, and their great support and customer service. I know I probably sound like a shell for them. It's just, but it's honestly how I feel. think 2022 is going to be very interesting to see what happens with all these funding companies. It just seems like all of a sudden they're all sprouting out. Like I say, I've heard of like two or three more that are in the works for 2022. So, and futures isn't, let's face it, futures is not as popular as stocks, forex, and crypto for whatever reason. I don't know why. I really like futures. Forex never interested me for some reason. And, crypto seems more like the wild, wild west at this point. But, I'd love to see more people get into futures, but there's not, right, as it stands right now, it seems like these companies are just poaching from one another, basically. You know, hopefully more and more people come into futures, but um, I'm not sure that they're also, if the more that comes in, I'm not sure how many are sustainable. And I believe EQT and TST will be around for the long haul, and you'll start seeing consolidation. UltraBond coming back to life? No. A little bit more volume. Excuse me, a little bit more volume coming in. Copper's a slow grind down. I I never figured out options. I've spent some time trying to learn them, but I really one day I will spend more time trying to learn them. But uh, I don't understand all the Greek stuff and all that with options. I understand kind of how they make money if in a very short period of time, but I'm just very happy I found these futures funding programs because when I originally was trying to do basically penny stocks, so I didn't have the money to put into enough to get away from the pattern day trade rule, and it just was a frustrating experience. Oh wow. Yeah, I don't try to trade cryptos. I have some crypto, just from things that have gotten paid out or so on and so forth in crypto. I think I have like $75 in Dogecoin and $10 in Sheeb and like 30 in Bitcoin. Eventually, I want to get into some mining stuff, and or there's some projects, crypto projects I like to get into, but I don't like charting on NinjaTrader. I don't know why. I mean, maybe it's just because I learned TradingView first. I would be happy trading off TradingView. The only problem with TradingView is you do have about a 1 second delay, and sometimes that 1 second can matter. But I mean, Ninja, I'm not. I can't. I mean, it's. I haven't compared Ninja to like Sierra Charts or MotoWave or any of those others. I've never used any of those until I went there in the trade. I never used Ninja Trader. When I was with Top Step, I actually really liked Tradeovate. I would be happy if somehow the Iron Trade got involved with Tradeovate. But Ninja, I just use Ninja for my order entry, and I do all my charting on TradingView. Uh, Walt, did you use their web based? I think the web based is especially the browsers use so many resources. So yeah, I mean I had trouble with TradeOvate occasionally crashing as well, and I have a beast of a machine that I run. So I didn't get to try it. I never tried their. I don't think they have a application too, but I don't think you could run Top Step on their app, on their PC app. Oh, did you? Okay. I because my machine is so high spec. I don't deal with as many things crashing as others do. So I know it's definitely probably very frustrating for people that have to deal with RAM issues. Yeah, I did a little bit of charting in futures with TD Ameritrade. I like TD Ameritrade. Yeah, Thinkorswim. I A friend custom built it for me. I have a i9 processor with 64 gigabytes of RAM. Yeah, the only thing I went cheap on this machine was the graphics card. I kind of regret that now that I'm a streamer. Though and this one's doing all right, but wish I had done a little bit better graphics card back. They were still cheap back then. People weren't buying them all up for Bitcoin mining or Ethereum mining. Copper giving us a signal, kind of a blah signal. It's been more sideways here. Not convinced by it. Edge Clear, which is that new funding partner that Earn a Trade is dealing with, they have they have TradingView listed on their website. I don't know if they're integrated with them or somehow or not. I don't see them on TradingView's website as an option. So I'm not sure if they have any type of integration with them or not. Um, I don't yet. I mean, I've seen again Canadian futures trader. You know in some of his videos. I'll occasionally look at a Dom on Ninja, but I have not gotten into order flow yet. It's something I do want to learn to see whether because I know CFT he makes great money. He's very good at it, so I think there is something to learn there. But so far, I'm mainly just what you see here on TradingView. Is basically what I use every time. Every now and then, I'll bring up a Dom. There's so much I still want to learn and see if it's any advantage. Just like I've been experimenting with Renko charts, seeing if that's there any advantage to that. So it looks so much smoother. But TradingView's Renkos aren't normal Renkos because Renkos because they're tied to a yeah time frame. Most Renkos aren't. So I'm still trying to figure out if there's any advantage. I like the clean look of it, but I don't know yet. Okay, so we see we're starting to get another move up here. ES with a buy signal, NQ with a buy signal. NQ needs to get above that level there for me, although that's 10 points away. Not sure. It's not sure either. Hey, John, how are you tonight? Doing good, doing good. Having a nice lively stream. We actually have people talking. Twan, Walt, and I have been having a good conversation. I'm up 120 bucks. No, 108 bucks. 108 bucks on the evening. I've had, as of right now, if I stay green, I've had 4 straight green days. Obviously, that remains to be seen because not only am I streaming this evening, but I'm streaming tomorrow morning. So a lot of trading yet to do. No, I was not on this morning. Right now, the schedule I think I'm gonna be keeping is Monday, Wednesday evenings, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday mornings. Hello, Gruncy. How you doing? I'm saying hello from Illinois, the land of corn and soybeans. and not much else. At least here in the middle of Illinois. Yeah, I don't sleep much. Average about 5 hours on the week, weekdays. But then I catch up with I do about 10 to 11 hours Saturday and Sunday mornings. So, Oklahoma, are you an active trader? Are you learning? Or are you sim trading, paper trading, etc.? Uh-oh, what happened today, John? Yeah, so far this week, John, I Monday was a $220 day, Tuesday 178, Wednesday 120, and today so far 108. Awesome. Well, glad to have you here. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I'll answer to the best of my ability. There's other people. Oh, big move down here on copper. 9 ticks. It's like we're at the same low we were at when it pulled back here. Didn't get any further. Let's see if it goes any lower. Does get lower. Question is should I jump in there? As well as if you're here from YouTube, please remember to hit that like button. I guess the YouTube algorithm likes that. Must tickle the algorithm. Kinky thing. Hmm. Russell can be, interesting. Russell, of the four indices, the Russell, the Dow, Nasdaq, and the S&P. Russell's the rebel of the bunch. It's the one that's most likely not to run parallel to the other three. Now it has been running parallel to the other three more often, but yeah, it's a rebel. See you later, Twan. Nasdaq trying to give us a buy signal again here. Again, we've topped out just recently at 62.25 and 62.25. Oh, both of these are 62.25. So definitely want to see it get above there. Not dumb. It's not a horrible idea to try something new, especially if you're doing sim, John. You know, now if you've been on something that real money, or if you've been on a gauntlet, then trying something new there. And that might be considered dumb. But on sim, you know, nothing wrong with giving something a try. Oh, big move up here. We have a 7 point candle here in the NQ. It's moving up toward that resistance line I drew out earlier. Its high of this session so far is at 15,981. It's now at 70. Did give us a buy signal. Let me find my Ninja Trader chart. It's going without me. Let's see if it gets above that 70 level before we do anything. You can see it topped out back here. When it pulled back, came back up, tried to come back up, and this is where it failed. So let's see if we can get above this and sustain that move. And look for about 10 points to get back to the high of the session. So Oklahoma, is there anything I can do to help you with your journey as you're starting this? See, we have a doji candle there. It usually indicates reversal, but it looks like it's going. We're in on this. Hopefully it wasn't a FOMO again. That's right. Trading never goes away. Ooh, big move up here on the NASDAQ. I'm in only on one micro. I really need to. I mean, I like micros, but I really need to stop doing that because I could. If I was in on one regular, I could have just hit sell there and got out for 140 bucks. Okay. Well, just remember you can feel free to any time to ask any questions. Pulling back. Maybe in the exhaust does the move already. See, or it's just taking a breath. Got up to 978 so far. Is the high of this move up. It's hanging right around that support resistance area that I pointed out earlier. Now it's breaking back below it. See? Copper. Let's try to come back up there. Looks like we're going to pull back here to my stop. Okay, we stopped out. Gave back about another 40 bucks there. UV, try to come up, not a lot of volume. Oh, oops, I forgot to bring up I'm sorry, I did never show my chart there on that trade. I sometimes forget to set the Streamlabs. So let me show you what I just did there. There, magic of the internet. Entered here, 15,973. It went up, and you know what? I didn't even notice that it hit that third Bollinger Band, which was the indication that it was going to pull back. So I could have got out with a profit if I had noticed that. That was a big mistake on my part. And you see it pull back, about a $40 loss. I don't know how I didn't notice that because I was staring right at the chart here. So that's a good lesson. Get rid of that. Let's go back to here. Blow up this chart. Again, when you see it break the third band like it did here, this white band, and pull back, it's a good sign that it's going to go reverse. So I got in at 73. It broke the band at about 77. And once I started pulling back, I could have got out for about break even. I could have even hit the reverse and caught this move down. A third band break, especially, when it's not really climbing like this. This is climbing, not a lot of wicks, but let me just find another good one, good example. Hasn't been ready today. Not a lot of third band breaks. Okay, can't find any other good examples, but so yeah, I played that trade badly. And it cost me about 40 bucks. Always be aware of what your candle is doing if you're in a trade. If you're just gonna, if you're managing your trade. Now, if you don't care, if you just decide that let it go to either your profit target or your stop loss, but in this case, this gave me a perfect reason to get out, and I did not get out. It happens. I just need to be more cognizant of what it's doing. Coming up in about 10 o'clock, about 10 minutes to 10 on the East Coast. We are seeing some moves here tonight. I played one really well, and I played two badly so far. Still up profit-wise, about 60 bucks. So now we just wait to see if it gives us any other opportunities tonight. If not, then maybe tomorrow morning. We've been seeing this big sell-offs happen in the late morning, early afternoon, that's usually when I'm not paying attention. I may need to start paying more attention. UltraBond moving down here. 4 ticks on this 1 minute candle. See it here down here in the bottom right hand corner. Copper and Russell. Copper and Russell. Copper and Russell. Copper. Not sure what was sending me a signal. I see it was touching. It's basically been sideways. Russell grinding upwards. S&P grinding upwards. Interesting, actually. Wait, wrong chart. Never mind. Looks like the indices are trying to grind upwards. ES sends a signal back here. It's consolidated, came up, pulled back, now going back up. Russell's sending us this buy signal here. I don't know if we have a lot of volume on the Russell right now. That was root of copper to get my way. 4, 31.30. I have a feeling we probably have a pretty wide bid-ask spread here. Yeah, only 3 ticks. It's not horrid. Oh, we felt right away. Ooh, ow. I went in on the bid, and how did I... Wow, I got 5 ticks of slippage. That's the problem sometimes with low liquidity. You get 5 ticks of slippage. But we're back up to being up 2 ticks. And down 2 ticks. We're doing kind of a dance. Now we're back down to 5 ticks. I'm not going to keep saying this. We'll watch it. Everything's kind of... So hopefully Russell will continue with it. Hopefully it won't bite me like it bit John. I am on the wrong parameters. So let's see how this works. There we go. Oh, we're moving. Trailing stop is trailing. Okay. Pull back there enough to get my trailing stop. I had the wrong ATM strategy in place there. Normally I would look for 30 ticks, and I got like 15 out of it, I think. Let's look at the stats. Actually, let's look at what gold's doing. Okay, I don't know what gold's doing, but we did get a win out of that. So I keep forgetting to show you the charts. I apologize, people. So entered here at 21.64.6, out at 21.65.6. So looks like we got 1 point. Let's go look. I gotta get better at controlling these streams. Yeah, back up to $117. The execution here. Yeah, 21.64.6 out at 21.65.6. Trade took 1 minute and 40 seconds for $50. So basically, we made back what I lost in that last MNQ trade, and we're back up, 117, so triple digits. Yeah, John, we were actually discussing that before you came on, that Lilu sale, and I was gonna jump on that, but the issue is that once you pass Lilu, you have to pay an $85 data fee, and you're immediately dealing with that same constantly trailing drawdown. So, I thought about jumping in for the $3, because that's a good yellow, basically. But if once you get past, once you pass, you're have to pay $85, and you're starting at zero with that constantly trailing drawdown. That just kind of scary. But yeah, I was really close to buying off the three, and then it. I don't know. I just decided not to. Yeah, and I really am glad I did think of that before I jumped in. I mean, if I had the confidence that I wouldn't blow the drawdown, and I prefer to stick with. Yeah, John, they're very gimmicky. Um, Apex is gimmicky, Lilu is gimmicky. U Profit seems to be kind of quiet lately, but those two big the ones everyone's are talking about now is Apex and Lilu, and they're just so gimmicky that it just makes it. I like the fact that Earn to Trade doesn't do a whole bunch of gimmicks, but in that same token, the fact that they don't do so many gimmicks, they kind of get ignored. So Russell did pull back here, and they did would have come all the way back to below break even. So my trailing stop worked well there, even if it was the wrong parameters. I honestly can say I don't see any reason at this point for me to ever go any place besides Earn to Trade. Earn to Trade allows up to 5 funded accounts at this point. Um, I can't see myself ever needing more than five. Let's face it. You get 5 funded. If ever get so confident in my trading that I want 5 funded accounts, I'll go. You can go for five of the biggest accounts, which is, the 150. You can trade 15 contracts, which means you could trade, if you wanted to, you could trade 65 contracts at a time. No one needs more than that, in my opinion. So I don't see, any reason to go for any other company. Could you imagine trading 15, 30, 60? Could you imagine trading, I'm sorry, 75 contracts? Could you imagine trading 75 contracts of NQ at one time? Be nice if you could catch one of those 50-point moves. What would that be? 50 points times $20 times 75 contracts, $75,000 only. Yeah, it's only $75,000. I mean, of course, you got to give up 20% of it, so zero point 0.8. $60,000 after the profit split. Crude oil pulled back to the SMA line. Thing is, if I ever traded 75 contracts on the NQ, wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter what happened to it. The amount of stress and adrenaline that would go through me would cause my heart to explode, and I would never see what happened to that trade. I have thought about, though, with multiple accounts is like having one account on NQ and one account just for like maybe gold and silver, and another account for maybe like agriculture, and another account for energies. Whereas, if you're having a bad day in one, it's not affecting the P&L in the other. I don't know. Be kind of interesting. Speaking of NQ, NQ pulling back. Just a lot of ebb and flow tonight. You can see here, ES probably doing the same thing, right? Yep. So if you look at this NQ, and it finally broke out of this range that I drew out earlier. Although it's trying to come, it's knocking back on the door to come back into that range. So up, down, up, down, up, down. Not a lot of follow through, although there's money to be made in each of these moves. And if I got in that short signal, I could have got what? 7 points out of it. Or if I stayed in through the pullback, I could have got a bunch out of it. But that would have been a pretty tough pullback to stay in. This buy signal well worked. So I mean, each of these signals actually end up working. Well, that one didn't. That would have been a failure. But that would have been nice. That would have been nice. That would have been really nice. Oh 04 to 57. So now it's back in. It came up, broke out of this range, and like a magnet, it pulled back into it. Copper also not really showing follow through. Shorter profit targets might be in order. Because like that Russell trade, that was a shorter profit target than I'll normally run, and it worked out. $50. It's better if I go with three contracts instead of one. Whoa. Well, natural gas just lost 13 ticks. So I am kind of happy with myself that I am starting to take more trades, even if the couple didn't work out. They won't all work out. Now the Nasdaq's staying above the, just slightly using this as support now. Bounced off of it, excuse me, bounced off of it as support. See if it stays above that range. Because it did make a new high of the day earlier, or high of the session, whatever you want to say. 988. And then next, like I said, the next resistance is at around 49. Slow grind down on the bonds. You can see, you know, looks like the bonds want to head down tonight, at least for now. Been heading down here since the open, basically. Tried to pull back. See here, we would have got our 7 ticks out of that short. Let's see what ES wants. ES, 2-point pullback into the bands. See if this is a sustained pullback. We'll continue. And it came up and broke the SMA line, so this would have been a good, you know, good entry. Long against the trend, basically. This tries to come up. That would have gave us 7. And, you know, probably, you know, nice uptrend, so I would have tried to go for another 7. I don't think that would have worked. Right, let's see. Doesn't want to give me the exact. So 20 up to 27. That would have gave us 7. Hard to tell there. Then it pulled back, broke down below. I don't think I would have taken that. It would have worked, but I don't think I would have taken that. Would have taken that. This is how I do charting. Looking for 7, would not have gotten 7, would have got 5. Which, I mean, I'll count it as a loss, but honestly, it would have broke even. I would have taken probably 1 tick profit because it would have moved my stop loss up to break even, or I think 1. And pull back here, uptrending bands would not have taken that. Came down here, not have taken that. Then this one I should have taken. I didn't take it because of such low volume, but you can see that would have definitely gotten our 7 ticks. And then we'll have taken the next short signal, and that would have also given us our 7 ticks. So the signals I would have taken, 1 win, 2 wins, 1 loss, which wasn't really even a loss, 3, 4, so 5 wins and a loss. This is so frustrating because, you know, that's 35 ticks in wins, 5 ticks in loss, 30 ticks times 31.25. It's almost $1,000. Oh, Nasdaq broke through that support, coming back down, back into this area of the range that it was in. Home sweet home, I guess. John, you gonna be trading tomorrow morning or Friday morning? Cool. I'll be here if you're gonna stop in. Excellent. Okay, Russell's giving us a short signal. Copper's giving us a long. Would you see copper? Every signal so far has really given us much. Alright, this looks like a complete mess. This area right here. Yuck. That's a 6-tick candle. So remind me, John, which combine are you doing? Alright. Alright, John. See you tomorrow morning. I shall be here bright and early. Cool. Yeah. Just, Top Steps, okay. They're, good company. I just don't like the fact that you have to do the 2 steps, basically reach that profit target twice. So let's move down on the S&P. Would have netted us our 2 points that I would look for. Would have actually netted 3 points. Walt, I think John might have checked out for the night. UltraBond. Pushing back up. Nothing really there. Crude did give us a signal here. It's kind of sideways-ish. I'm at oops. I am at let me find it. 117. Two wins, two losses. I took the wins on Crude and Russell. Took the losses on ES and MNQ. I'm watching, but I don't. Honestly, I don't expect anything else to pop while I'm here on the stream. Got this buy signal on gold, and I don't know, did I sleep through it? Big eight tick candle up, which isn't huge, but it's more than what it's did in the last 20 minutes. So followed that up with two ticks. Now it's kind of flat again. Have a great night, John. I shall see you in the morning. We're gonna make lots of money, or we're just gonna sit here and talk about things. Who knows? I do like the streams lately. Have had more conversations and less me droning on about stuff. UB, another short signal here. Natural gas. Try to come back up. Not a lot of follow, not a lot of volume here on natural gas either. This is a big move down. That would have been a good move, but the signal on it, the two short signals here weren't real good signals. So I would have never got in on that anyway. You can see how spotty the volume is. It's kind of weird here, these big moves up, these big volume spikes, and I don't know. It's just weird. No, obviously this one would have been good. To a point. I was looking for 40 ticks. This one 27, so I don't know. See a slow grind down now in the indices, it looks like. What's NQ doing? Yeah, NQ slow grind down as well. Everything's kind of just sluggish now as we head toward 10:30. If nothing picks up here in the next few minutes, we'll probably cut the stream about quarter of. That would give me another 3 hour, good 3 hour stream. Got my stream summary from Restream today. Said I streamed for 72 hours in the month of November. I need to find a sponsor to pay me $10 an hour to stream. Natural gas again. Coming back up. Coming back down. Nothing's doing anything exciting. Russell sideways. S&P grinding down. Crude is trying to move up here. Looks like that signal might have been a decent signal to take. That I didn't take right there. I mean, would have gave us 11 ticks so far. Just trying. Bonds continuing to move down. Gold. That buy signal failed. This short signal back here would have been a winner, I think. But I don't know. The gold. Look at this gold chart. This has been an ugly looking chart. Wow. No real momentum. Big wicks everywhere. Let's see. How far did this go? That's not even that great. Yeah, it went. Oops. So I moved the whole chart. Boop. Yeah, I only went 10 ticks. Normally I'm looking for 16. NASDAQ sideways. Treasuries still kind of grinding a little bit downward. Copper, do you see? I mean, you can see copper stayed in a range. Oops, wrong blow up. You know, copper's been in this range now. Move that out of the way. come down twice to that level. And then the top of the range. It looks like it's trying to break out of the top of the range. So it might be trying to finally make a move. This is the range it's basically been in. So it's exactly a 20 tick range. You can see every signal that it's sent in this range would have failed. There, 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 there. This is the best one so far. Would have got in at 427.05 and it's gone up to 427.80. So 15 ticks. Definitely nothing exciting. That said, range trading can be profitable if you do it well. Do it right, I should say. Just by trying to scalp a couple ticks. If you scalp 4 ticks on copper, that's $50. Do it three contracts. It's 150. But that might have been even that might have been tough with the lower liquidity right now. NG again. So that signal on crude would have been good. Normally this time, I'm looking for 20 ticks, and it would have gave me 20 ticks. So I kind of regret that. Why didn't I take that there? Well, that's a good question. I'm glad you asked. Things were sideways. You had your SMA line going sideways. You had the bands going sideways. So I thought we were going to range kind of like what everything else has been doing. And it's kind of in a range from way back here. It's kind of busting out of it. So I should have taken it. The last, the last buy signal worked too, real honestly. So this is a slight grind up, making slightly higher highs. It would have pulled back. Oops. Would have pulled back a bit, but nothing too scary, and that would have went. So honestly, the last 3 buy signals, if you go all the way back here, would have gave me that 20 ticks. Where's that? Zoom, zoom, zoom. Yes, there. Remember, it was Crude that we did get a win on earlier, first win. So once it finally, it came down big time, and honestly, as it was coming down, these short signals would have gave me 20 ticks as well. So it's been, as long as you're going with the current trend. The problem was the reason I didn't take this one, there really wasn't a trend that was showing. I mean, you had this uptrend here, but we were sideways even pulling back, so it was hard to tell where the trend was. We were above the 200 EMA. So what's ES doing? Solid signal. ES is back above the SMA line, but hugging it looks like it's bouncing off. Still coming, trying to come back down. Russell's doing the same. What's our good friend the Nasdaq doing? Looking the same. The bonds. Three. Soybeans have been coming down since open. Slight grind down on corn. You know, things are getting kind of boring when I start talking about soybeans and corn. Nasdaq is comfortably back in that same range as earlier. It's tried to peak out twice. It's come back down. Now it's toward the bottom of that range. Trying to get back into this other range. He likes being in the range. So that gold trade I was talking about earlier, that's coming back down now. It now it would have given me that 16 ticks. Would have been scary. Came down 10, reversed all the way back into negative, and then came down 16 ticks. But you can see how ugly these other areas were. Ugh. So I think we're going to call it there for the night. Finishing the night at $117 up. We'll try to add to that tomorrow morning. Live here, 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central, 4:30 California time. If you're on the West Coast, I really feel sorry for people on the West Coast to try and trade. Having to get up by 6, just, I mean, what am I saying? No, I get up at 6 to the live stream. So, okay. Anyway, so yeah, we're going to call it there. Green is good. Things are slowing down. Let me just check these signals before I say that for sure. Actually, NQ did break out of this range, but popped right back up. From this short signal down here, we've gone 15 points. Yep. Have a good night, Walt. Thank you for joining me. Yep, I'll see everyone tomorrow morning. Hopefully, we'll all be caffeinated, awake, and ready to make some money. Have a great rest of your evening, and have a good night, and talk to you tomorrow. Bye.